What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is Review This with the Scene Snobs. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, back with another review of Creed 3. Very excited for this one. I'm so glad I got to go out and see it. So before we get into it, as you guys know, we do non-spoiler and spoiler reviews all in one. So we're going to start with the non-spoiler. We'll give the rating, talk about the movie a little bit, some things I like, some things didn't like, go through the whole motion. And then afterwards, I'll give you the heads up. If you want to stick around, stick around. Sound off in the comments. Would love to hear what you guys think about the movie, or if you're planning on going to see it, or anything else for that matter. So sound off. I'd love to hear it. We'll talk about it a little bit once we get to the more spoilery portion of it. And then when we get into that, if you guys want to go and wait for the movie to come out, by all means, please do so. Or stick around and let's just discuss it, shall we? All right, so I just got back from seeing Creed 3, directed by Michael B. Jordan, starring Michael B. Jordan, of course, as Adonis Creed yet again. This time joined as his adversary and childhood friend, Damian Anderson, played by Jonathan Majors. It's a fantastic premise to the movie, where one of Donnie's old friends from like the group home, they were like brothers growing up. He went to jail for 18 years. And through that time, of course, we saw Adonis Creed build up his boxing career and become the undisputed heavyweight champion under the tutelage, of course, Rocky, Duke, and the whole nine. Little Duke, as they call him. It was going into this movie, I was very excited. I'm a big mark for the Rocky movies and big mark for Creed movies. I think what they've done and kind of crossing over and breathing new life into this next generation of boxing movies and still holding on to what everybody loves about the Rocky movies, the underdog story coming back. They did such a great job. I really like the first Creed movie. It is fantastic. Ryan Coogler did an amazing job. Of course, he came back for the second one, Creed 2. Actually, I don't know if Creed 2 is directed by Ryan Coogler. He might have been doing Black Panther by that point, but I want to. Oh no, Stephen Caple Jr. That's right. Okay, Stephen Caple Jr. stepped in for the second one. Another really good movie. It didn't, as much as I like the second one, and it touches back on the fourth Rocky movie with Ivan Drago and his son coming back into it. Rocky kind of having his beef there as well. It kind of went down in tone for me. That first Creed movie was just so good, and just really matched like the first Rocky movie. Is well acted, great love story building to it. Tessa Thompson is great in the movie as Miss Bianca. Felicia Rashad, of course, comes back as Mrs. Creed, Adonis's stepmother. And I really, going into this, was hoping with Michael B. Jordan taking the helm and Jonathan Majors joining in and making this a more personal story. I was really hoping that we were going to get something different than we did in Creed 2. Again, liked Creed 2. I liked Creed 2 for the same reasons I like Rocky 3 or I like Rocky 4. They were fun. They added on to the franchise, but it wasn't the same. There's just a subtle difference here. Now, I will say this, coming out of Creed 3 and, getting ready to give my rating and talk to you guys about it, it is absolutely fantastic. You should absolutely go see this in movie theaters if you want to get out this weekend, and you can. It is great. Everything, it's like the acting in this, Jonathan Majors going up against Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson in the mix, like it is an acting exercise, a class even, and it's just so well done. And I really, really love this movie when it walked out. It gave me a lot of great feelings. The cinematography is brilliant in it. They do something new in the ring that I hadn't seen before, which is hard to do. The Rocky franchise, Creed franchise have seemed to have done it all, and they actually, if you go back to the beginning with Rocky 1 and John Avildsen and how he directed it and the cinematography, they invented that. They invented that look of being in the ring, then out of the ring, and then kind of cutting all the way back and forth. So you feel it. Well, this movie completely did something new that blew me away. And I absolutely loved it. The story is great. The backstory between these two characters is fantastic. The setup of it all, the acting, cinematography. Michael B. Jordan knocked it out of the park with his directorial debut. He did just an amazing job. And I absolutely love this movie. And in fact, so much so, my rating for this movie, as you guys are about to find out, I don't often do this, but I had to because it absolutely deserves it. 5 out of 5. Pure 5 out of 5. It is a terrific movie. Everything about it down the line was just great. It is, and I don't think it's a stretch. I want to go see it again, but this might be my favorite in the franchise. And if they don't make another Creed movie, which I'm sure they're going to, and it's open for that, and it's open in such a good way where you can do it. And trust me, it's a lot more believable than Rocky Balboa, where he comes out of retirement as an old man and fights the world champion. And I still love that movie, don't get me wrong. But, with Creed's retirement in this movie and then having to come back and fight his friend, they just did such a great job. They set it up perfectly. The tension between the two characters, but the love behind all this anger that they have is so beautifully done. It is just a wonderful, like kind of almost a ballet dance at times, not just in the ring, but when they're just kind of sparring toe to toe with their words. It's just fantastic to watch. Like, it's choreographed perfectly, acted even better. I absolutely love this movie. And I do think everybody should go see it. Jason's here. Jason says, good morning. Is the best part 9 we've ever had? Is this the best part 9 we've ever had? Maybe. I will tell you this. I talk often about what my favorite trilogies are, things like that, or what I think is like a best trilogy. If they stopped here, this will probably be one of the best trilogies of all time. Absolutely terrific down the line. Even the second one set up, they bring Drago back, the son, and it makes total sense why he's there. And they just do a great job with it. They do a great job with it. And I'm going to get into a little more spoilers now. So if you guys do want to kind of take off, you got my rating, it's 5 out of 5. I say definitely get out to the theater and go see this movie. If you have seen it, I'd love to hear what you think. Sound off in the comments. Let me know. We're going to talk about it over on our Discord. So if you're a part of that, you can. If not, join up on the Patreon. Join up in the Discord. Let's get into it. Snob Nation all the way. All the links are down below. You can go check it out. So let's get into the spoiler side of it. I'm not going to get too crazy, but I do want to talk about a few things that maybe you want to see on your own. There's no heavy twists here or anything like that, so I'm not really giving anything away. But let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, spoiler zone. Let's do this. All right, so the movie does a great job in setting up their childhood history and why Dame in the movie, played by Jonathan Majors, goes away to prison. And what happened to Adonis? They leave you kind of like in the dark of where was Adonis when he was arrested, because they were together. It was Adonis who started this fight, and there's a very good reason why he started the fight. And you get into it, but they really lead you on to try and figure out what happened. And he does it in such a great way. It's well written, and the imagery they use and the camera work they use really plays off and does a really good job. So I really, really like this movie. And I watched the Rocky Creed movies a lot. Like it's a great franchise. So when you have this come out, and in my opinion, with all of that lore that, in the boxing world and stuff that was built through all of these movies and this whole franchise, for this one to come out and really kind of top everything is huge. And they did something. What I really liked what they've done with the Creed movies is they tried to do it in Rocky movies, not too much. When Rocky was fighting, you knew they were the villain. They did a good job with it, Apollo Creed, in the second movie. But in this, and in Drago in the second one was good. They made him sympathetic. This one, they really make you feel for Dane's character. They really make you feel for him. He just wanted one thing, and to stick up for his friend who was getting beat up, he did something, got sent away, and he lost his dream. So he was a Golden Gloves boxer that went away to prison for 18 years. That almost destroyed his career. And then he comes back, and he sets up this whole thing to use Adonis to be able to become champion. And he does, and he makes it. He's a well-deserved champion. He can fight. But the fact that he's gunning for Adonis because he's so mad at him for just 18 years of never hearing from him and going to jail on his behalf, it is beautifully told. And you can see it in his face. You can see the pain and the hurt in his eyes, just like you can see it in Michael B. Jordan playing Adonis Creed's eyes. It's so beautifully acted. It's just fantastic. There are some scenes, no words spoken, and you get the whole thing. Now, a couple things I really liked. They bring in the daughter. She's older now. She wants to kind of get into boxing. They add an element there. They didn't really touch down on it as much as I thought they could have. Her getting into wanting to be a boxer, stuff like that. But they touched down on it in a nice way. They gave it a lot of father-daughter, beautiful connection in it. But I just wish that they kind of played that out a little bit more. I thought they did a better job in Rocky V with the son, if that makes sense. And I kind of wish they had done that here. But they kind of played it up a little bit, had a couple of tender moments, and then didn't really touch down on it again. So the mother's character, played by Felicia Rashad, she did fantastic in this movie, and I really liked how she played this up. And kind of having to retcon this past a little bit because you hadn't heard of the character before, and to come back in and find out she was such a big part of why they were disconnected throughout all that time, and what they did with her character in this. I thought they just did such a fantastic job. Just a terrific job by her and her character in this, and a truly great just truly great presence there that really connected Apollo to Adonis and brought these characters together, and why. One thing I absolutely loved about this movie was the camera work in the ring. This is a war between two old friends, brothers, who are hurt by each other. And they come out swinging, both literally, figuratively, metaphorically, however you want to see it. But in everything they do, they start out in this big audience. This is big show. They're going toe to toe. One's the champion. One's the former champ, retired to come back for this war. And then they cut to, and I thought they did it in such a beautiful way. I've seen it in some golf movies, baseball movies, and stuff. And that's where the character is so in on what they're doing. The sports star is so in on what they're doing. Everything around them disappears. All the crowd, everything, all the noise, it disappears. And they did this for predominantly the fight. And you go the first two rounds, they're in front of the crowd, and then it cuts. And they're in the ring by themselves, and nobody else is around. And it's just them fighting. And it's done beautifully, choreographed perfectly. Everything works. And then by the time they get the punches in and everything happens, you're in round 11. And they're getting ready to go. And it was just something I've never seen before that added an element to this movie that was just fantastic. And I use that word not lightly, spectacular, whatever you want to do, I'll throw them all out, because it just really did hit home. There was a point in this fight where I'm sitting back in my seat and it made me sit up. I leaned right forward, and if a movie can make me do that, it's special. And it did. And I absolutely love this movie. It deserves that 5 out of 5 rating. I think everybody will really enjoy this going to see it. There's a lot of twists and turns that kind of go along the way. And I love how it ended. It ended beautifully. So I definitely think that you guys will really enjoy this. Go check out the movie if you haven't already. Jason says, I can't wait to see this. You definitely get out there this weekend if you can. Three Geeks Podcast says, can't wait to check this out. You guys should. It is worth it. And it's worth it to see it in theaters. Go see it in IMAX because the imagery is so beautiful. Cinematography. He really planned each shot out, you can tell. And I loved how he did it. And I have to really give it up to the art direction and production design in this movie. That crew killed it. Loved it. I can go on and on about this movie and the things I loved about it. Now, there were some things that, of course, no movie is perfect. There are some things that kind of took me out of it a little bit, but not, I shouldn't even say that. It didn't take me out of anything. But I did notice. But I'm going to leave them alone because I want to see who notices them as well. I don't want to break the glass on this for you guys. I want you to go see it. But there are a couple things that kind of hit. But everything else that kind of surrounded it just made it that much more better, amplified in such a big way. So go check out the movie. Sound off in the comments if you check out this review. Let me know what you think of it, or if you're going to go see it. Join us on social media because we'll talk about it there. We'll be talking about it on Discord, the whole nine. All the links are down below. Guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight, checking out the review. And yeah, like I said, go check out Creed 3. It is wonderful. All right, everybody, I'm Mick Manhattan from the Scene Snobs. You can check me out on any of my other shows. Make sure to hit like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Take care. Hey, guys, Mick here. Thanks so much for watching the show and supporting us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you coming back and joining in the comments. But, guys, I really want to thank you, our patrons who are out here supporting us, helping us keep the lights on. Really, truly appreciate you. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, AJ, George G3, Chris S., Dale, Chris H., Dan, John B., Ron, Jason, and John W. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Guys, we have 3 tiers available right now. As of March 1st, we're adding 2 more tiers for a total of 5 with tons of perks. So go check out patreon.com/thescenesnobs. And join our Snob Nation Discord channel where the moderators are keeping everything going and we're having really fun conversations over there and more. So go check it out. It's free to join and just be part of the Snob Nation. And remember to embrace the absurdity. Hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. We have tons of great shows coming out and more. Our lives are over on Patreon, but you can check out the Snob Nation Morning Drive live show on our YouTube channel Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern, and tons more shows coming up thereafter. We have great shows like the Scene Snobs Podcast, Betting Bros, Math vs. Smash, Real Combat, movie reviews, and tons more. We have fun over there, and we think you will too. If you're looking for great merch, go over to the snobsmerch.com store. Use promo code SNOBS for 10% off of your order. We have tons of shirts, mugs, everything, stickers, all different types of designs. We love it. I think you will too. So go check it out and let us know what you think. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms. We are at the Scene Snobs everywhere. You can also follow Casey at Planos21 on Instagram, at Casey the Madman on TikTok, and at Twitter Night on Twitter. Guys, tons of fun stuff and new things coming out every day, so go check out our content there. Thank you guys again. We are the Scene Snobs. Embrace the absurdity with us, and we love you, and we'll talk to you guys soon.